And everybody listening, thank you for listening. I'm KG, and my partner is the Ward Wildcat. You're listening to another one of our podcasts, which is now available on iTunes. We're both proud to say. And if you're listening on iTunes at some point, thank you for listening on iTunes. We're evolving and growing as we're doing the best that we can to make this better. As we continue to do this, we're evolving. So hopefully we'll get better as the year goes on. Who knows how long the podcast will last, but we're going to do the best we can as we go along to get along. How about this suggestion? Should U of H be interested in joining the Big East?
Yes. It's a balanced conference. It's probably one of the few balanced conferences right now in Division I outside of the Mountain West, where there's a balance between the two biggest revenue sports, basketball and football. Okay.
Now we talked about this, off air, but now it's mentioned on air. In the seemingly inevitable four super conferences, we're going to have a Big 10.
Who you talked about?
Big 10, which will be whatever, Big 16. Pac-12 will become Pac-16. SEC will become 16 members. We have Big East, ACC will be left of the 6 BCS conferences. So the two of them will have to merge to form 16 members.
Who gets left out in that?
So exactly. So who's going to get left out of that? Because I'm just saying, as a U of H alum, I believe going to Big East is a better option than Big 12. But will that mean we'll still be a BCS member, whatever happens between the ACC and Big East?
The only other conference that has proven viable has been the Mountain West, because that conference was carved out and set aside and became an automatic qualifier. ESPN got a reading the contract.
So would that be the case now in the future? And the TCU's left, and we're in the super conference format. The Mountain West is going to, Boise State's got to go somewhere too. Boise State's probably going to end up going to the Pac-16, possibly. So
see, that's the movement out. Matter of fact, that's who is fixing to move out. Boise State and Fresno will be moving toward the Mountain West here in the near future, within a year.
And then they mentioned they're going to leave.
Right. Now, BYU just left, went independent. Folks kind of looked at them strange and all, but folks are asking questions about them, joining
the Big 12.
It's a good region. It's got traditions, and it works for them.
What works for who? In the grand scheme of things, who is that benefiting?
It benefits more so, I would say, BYU. They still have, they're picking up recruits. Everybody's looking at it to pick up recruits. Besides the money, you're looking to pick up recruits.
Because it's true, but in this term, BYU has their own TV network.
Right.
Longhorns have their own TV network. Why should the Sooners want to be part of that?
Good question. I can't answer that right now, but apparently someone thought enough of them, as just looking at them from afar, to ask that question for them to join.
Because the Sooners, at some point, they're going to get their own. In some hand, they're going to have their own network as well.
And I think that would definitely be regional and statewide.
Right.
Based because of the way it's set up for them to succeed.
Yeah, they won't have ESPN. They won't have some national carrier, but they'll be able to control, and they will oversee the programming. They'll oversee the production and all those things, because ESPN deal with the Longhorns. ESPN running that. ESPN has say in how they're covering practice, how they're doing all those things with Mac Brown, and people at Texas are realizing what are we really got ourselves into in terms of coverage of practice.
Right. And folks, that's been the source of contention so far with the media, as far as been these blackouts. We're not going to call them lockouts, we're going to call them blackouts, for media blackouts. No practice access, no scrimmage access, everybody's playing in a bubble, in a closed-in situation. You have to wait until practice is over with to talk to players and coaches, and not a lot is discussed, and it's getting the information that's coming out is deluged to second and third party, and the press releases are pretty much in-house, so you're at the mercy of the institution, and at some point you as an institution will have to become relevant, because if you become irrelevant, somebody's going to be on the hot seat.
Okay.
And it won't be the media.
And in terms of relevance / irrelevance, tell me about Rice football. What are they going to do this Saturday against the Longhorns?
They're going to go and play. They're going to go and play. They're going to fight.
How long are they going to fight? How long are they going to be competitive? I'll say this before I'll let you answer. If they are competitive, does that say more for Rice and less about the Longhorns?
Yes. Yes, it does. Because that's the way I started out, with the 1st of July, when we went to Media Day. My mindset when I left Houston to go to Dallas was they're going to have to show me that they are ready to go play football in the state of Texas. I mean, literally, I didn't want to show up in Dallas and watch a bunch of boys and I'll answer questions. I wanted to see some men show that they were ready to go and that they were ready to go and earn respect of Longhorn fans and the rest of the conference. I didn't see that. So I wrote up, and it's in the paper, it's online at KingSideView.com, that the first game out of the block, the game against Rice, it should not be a gauge of where both of these programs are, but more so should be a statement of where Texas is ready to go down the road. And apparently, if Rice is in this game at halftime, something needs to be done. Now, mind you, yesterday finally McNamara staff decided on making Gilbert the starting quarterback.
Gilbert, yep.
And McCoy,
Chase McCoy
will be the backup. Now, whether Gilbert would have a short leash, nobody knows until the game starts, because none of these coaches, none of them around the country know exactly what they have until they step out on the field. I will admit, Andrew Luck is pretty much the standard of what quarterbacks will be judged by this year. But,
and Landry Jones, Oklahoma.
Well,
those are two clear cuts, in my opinion. But let me ask you this. I saw this. Some of my colleagues mentioned this on Twitter yesterday. You attended the Rice Football Weekly Media Luncheon. Did the Longhorns send out their depth chart?
It didn't match what was online, and because
I read or saw
that's why it took so long
that it wasn't too deep
yesterday.
It wasn't too deep or something like that, right? Okay.
And for whatever reason, we don't know why, but that's what it goes back to what I mentioned earlier. You getting information from that house. You're not getting a real third party, which is what you call the media. First hand. It's just not happening. So now you're in a situation where you have to mercy. Now, mind you, Saturday, something better get corrected quickly, because basketball season, when it comes up, there won't be any doubt in anybody's mind. You had better have information flowing, because that's a game on a regular basis. Whatever, 2, 3, 4 nights a week, sometimes.
On college level, at least twice a week, yeah. I'm not going to ask you to give a score in the Rice Longhorn game.
I don't mind.
Okay, you throw it out there then, sir. You are the people at Wildcat.
It should be.
I don't know the spread. That's why I didn't want to put those spots on the spread.
I didn't look at any of that. I hadn't checked the bookies, the betting lines in Vegas or anything. I'm looking at UT to be winning by. They should win by 3 touchdowns minimum. I'm expecting 4 to 5.
Wow. Okay. But I thought the Owls were better.
They are better as a unit. They are consistent. They know exactly what they do. They know who they are, and they're ready to go to work.
Will the Owls score?
Yes.
Well, they scored 14.
They have scored twice. I'm looking for the Owls to score 20 from 18 to 24 points, and I'm looking for.
So he's looking for the Longhorns to drop 45 or so.
I'm looking for the Vince Young and the Colt McCoy days. That's what I'm looking for. And if I don't see that,
and the Applewhite days.
Oh, well, that's not to me, folks. That's if I want to put a standard on UT quarterbacks recently, Applewhite is my guy.
So, okay. So
the strongest quarterback that they have right now is on staff on the sidelines calling plays, and that's Applewhite.
So you're saying about 45-24, 45-21, something like that?
48-21.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right, and we may not know what TV network will be carrying in, but we do know that the game will be on KCOH 1430 AM, and the website is
KCOHradio.com.
Yes, sir. You know it, and the game's at 7, and pregame starts at 6:30 on KCOHradio.com.
Yes,
you can listen on there, and there will be right now about 4 games for sure on KCOH, 4 Owls games on the KCOH 1430 AM this season. Perhaps more. We think more, but we're not sure about what specifically. So
the scheduling, will come about.